In the vast heart of an ancient forest, where the trees rose so high they seemed to pierce the sky itself, there lived a king unlike any other. His name was Gajraj, the king of elephants. His body was massive, his tusks curved like moons carved from ivory, and his footsteps made the earth tremble as though the forest itself bowed before him. When Gajraj walked, birds fled from branches in frightened bursts of wings, monkeys froze mid-leap, and even the lions stepped aside. Not because he hunted them, not because he roared like thunder, but because power lived in him as naturally as breath. He ruled wisely, or so he believed. Every morning, Gajraj led his herd through the forest, guiding them to water, to food, to safety. Hundreds of elephants followed him, mothers with cows, old bulls with scarred skins, young ones full of restless energy. They trusted him completely. But the forest was changing. The rains had failed for 2 seasons. Rivers shrank into muddy scars. Ponds turned to cracked bowls of dust. Hunger whispered through the trees. The elephants walked farther each day, their trunks swinging low, their eyes dull with thirst. One evening, as the sun bled red through the canopy, a scout elephant returned with news. "There is water," he said, panting. "A great lake beyond the northern hills." Hope surged through the herd like fire through dry grass. At dawn, Gajraj led them north. They walked for days. Their feet crushed shrubs, flattened grass, and split the earth. When they finally reached the lake, it shimmered like a jewel fallen from heaven. Without hesitation, the elephants charged forward. They did not notice the small holes in the ground. They did not hear the tiny screams beneath their thunderous steps. By the time the herd reached the water, the ground behind them was silent, far too silent. Beneath the earth, hidden in winding tunnels and dark chambers, lived another king. His name was Mooshakraj, the king of mice. His kingdom was small, yes, but it was orderly, intelligent, and alive with careful movement. Thousands of mice lived under the forest floor, storing grain, raising young, and sharing stories passed down from generations older than memory. The lake was their blessing. It fed insects, softened soil, and kept roots alive. And above all, it kept Mooshakraj's people safe. Until the elephants came. The ground shook like the end of the world. Tunnels collapsed. Chambers caved in. Mothers were buried with their young. Elders were crushed beneath falling soil. The screams of the dying filled the darkness, unheard by the giants above. When the trembling stopped, Mooshakraj emerged. He stood on a mound of broken earth, his fur matted with dust, his eyes wide with horror. Around him lay shattered homes, crushed bodies, and silence heavy with grief. This, he whispered, his voice shaking, was no storm. A surviving scout ran to him, breathless. "Great king, it was elephants. A whole army of them. They came for the lake." Anger burned through Mooshakraj's small body like poison. "Summon the council," he said. That night, under a moon pale with sorrow, Mooshakraj addressed his people. "We cannot fight them with strength," he said, voice steady despite the pain. "But we are not powerless. Wisdom is our weapon. And unity is our shield." The mice listened. And they waited. Days passed. The elephants returned again and again to the lake. Each time, more tunnels collapsed. More lives were lost. Mooshakraj knew the time for patience had ended. He gathered his fastest runners, his sharpest thinkers, his bravest hearts. "When the elephants come tomorrow," he said, "we act." At dawn, the herd arrived, led proudly by Gajraj. The lake sparkled. The air smelled of relief. As the elephants charged forward, the ground beneath them shifted. Suddenly, trunks of mighty elephants plunged into hidden pits. Feet became trapped in collapsing tunnels. Massive bodies stumbled, trumpeting in terror. Cries of pain filled the air. Gajraj himself felt the earth give way beneath him. His legs sunk deep into a collapsing burrow, twisting painfully. He roared, a sound that shook the sky. The elephants panicked. Calves cried. Mothers struggled. The forest echoed with chaos. From the ground, Mooshakraj emerged, standing atop a stone, his tiny chest lifted high. "O king of elephants," he called, his voice sharp and fearless. "Your strength has destroyed our homes. Your thirst has drowned us in death." Gajraj stared, stunned. Never in his long life had a creature so small dared speak to him like this. "You," Gajraj growled, "have trapped my people. Release us at once." Mooshakraj did not bow. "First," he said, "you will listen." Gajraj listened. As Mooshakraj spoke of crushed children, buried elders, and shattered homes, something unfamiliar stirred in the Elephant King's heart. Guilt. Shame. Fear. "I did not know," Gajraj said finally, his voice lower now. "I sought only to save my herd. And in doing so," Mooshakraj replied, "you nearly destroyed mine." Silence stretched between them. Then Gajraj did something no elephant had ever seen before. He bowed. "I am strong," he said, "but strength without awareness is destruction. Forgive me. I swear by the earth beneath us, I will never again harm your people." Mooshakraj studied him carefully. "Words are light," the Mouse King said. "Promises must be proven." "Then test me," Gajraj said. The mice freed the trapped elephants. Slowly, painfully, the herd escaped. Before leaving, Gajraj turned back. "From this day," he declared, "the elephants will drink only from the southern river. This lake is yours." Mooshakraj nodded. An alliance was born. Seasons passed. Peace returned. Then one night, terror struck again. Hunters came. They laid massive nets near the river. At dawn, elephants were trapped, tangled, helpless. Gajraj struggled, but the ropes cut deep. His herd cried out in fear. Miles away, Mooshakraj felt the earth tremble in a familiar way. "This is no elephant march," he said. "This is panic." He gathered his army. Thousands of mice raced through grass and soil, teeth sharp, hearts fierce. When they reached the nets, they climbed without fear, gnawing ropes, biting knots. The hunters returned to find chaos. Elephants free. Nets destroyed. Gajraj looked down at Mooshakraj, filling his ancient eyes. "You saved us," he said softly. Mooshakraj smiled. "Today," he replied, "small repaid great." Years later, the forest told this story in whispers. Of a king who learned humility. Of a king who chose wisdom over strength. Of how the mighty once depended on the tiny. Gajraj ruled with care, watching every step. Mooshakraj ruled with confidence, knowing size never defined power. And the forest thrived. Because when strength walks with wisdom, and pride bows before understanding, even the smallest voice can save the greatest life.